Hello, and thanks for tuning in to tonight's Season 1 Finals of the WBP League. We've got a great best-of-3 matchup set up here between BGS and Parallax Gaming. But before we hop on into that, I'm going to take a moment to sit with a few members of each team and discuss preparations and just overall feeling headed into tonight's matchup. So, without further ado, we're going to talk to BGS. So, how's everybody feeling tonight? Is everybody feeling pretty well with the solid run-up to the finals here?
I have a headache.
They won't let me
doing
play
too
because I
bad.
went on vacation.
Yeah, Adi, he's sleeping.
So,
We've been doing well. We scrimmed. We got this far.
yeah, I had to
Yeah.
imagine you guys have been looking pretty solid up until this point, especially coming off that 2-0 in the last semifinal match to get yourselves here. So, with there being
Everything's falling apart behind the scenes.
so there being a decent bit of money on the line tonight, how are you guys feeling about the nerves? Are there any nerves that are playing into tonight's matchup or preparations?
There's no need to be nervous. We know we're gonna come out here and play our best siege, and that's
I don't
all
know about
it's
Audie,
about.
but the rest of the team will.
Yeah. Well, that's what I like to hear. I like to hear that enthusiasm coming out from you guys. So essentially, you're just planning to keep up that pace that you've set throughout the rest of this tournament. How do you plan to do that?
Sorry, was that a question for me?
A question for all of you.
That's for Simplest.
What was the question? I wasn't paying attention. I'm trying to listen. I'm trying to warm up, guys. Come.
Well, just essentially, like, what preparations have you guys made coming into this? How are you planning to keep up the pace that you've set this far?
Click heads.
That and I think our preparation, like working with our IGL, because like he's been kind of struggling lately, and we really emphasize on our scrims, like to fix his IGLing, because like he had a few problems when I first got into the team, and
Those problems have been fixed.
the problems have been fixed. I don't want to ramble on with what the problems were, but the problems have been fixed. Like he has improved immensely, and like we're very proud of him. And I feel like we're very confident coming into this match under his IGL.
That's great to hear. So it sounds like you guys have patched up any possible issues with just info and or mid-round adjustments then.
Yeah, because in our relegation match, we just had some internal problems and we got absolutely slammed, but we fixed our problems. Now into playoffs, we're just somehow in the finals.
Well, I guess with the last question here then, with a good look at each team playing over this weekend, without giving away too much, is there anything you've done specifically for this matchup? Any strats you've held out? Or maybe just any counter strats specifically for Parallax Gaming?
Yeah, we run nomads so Psycho can't flank us.
We were hungry so we can outgun.
Bro, that's like your whole strat book, yo. Come on, yeah, no wonder.
Audie just exposed our whole strat. I think we lost now. GG.
Nomad v Psycho.
On that last 3 map, but we didn't actually mean to. So.
Oh yeah. I intentionally picked Club for he could win.
No, he thought it was a ban for best of 3 ban, so he picked Clubhouse because he thought he was banning it. So that was in big brain.
The big brain pick.
We didn't show any of our maps because he misclicked. It was pretty good.
All right. Well, I thank you guys for joining me. I wish you all the best of luck in the matchup to come here. And, just have a great game, guys.
Follow at RDR Success on Twitter.
All right, guys. I'm signing out here. Good luck.
Thank you.
Alright, so here in just a moment, folks, we will be hopping into our second interview there with Parallax Gaming. So, in just a few moments, we will be right back with you. All right, and we are right back with our second interview. So for the second interview, we are talking to Parallax Gaming, just getting to know the team here, talk about any possible preparations they've made. So I guess the first question would be, how's the team feeling? You guys have had a pretty strong run up to the finals, especially coming out of that 2-0 victory, where you were looking pretty decisive on both maps. So imagine everybody's feeling pretty good.
We were feeling pretty good coming into the playoffs. We don't have Hixer, who is on our main roster, so Gibbles thankfully is here to sub for him because Hixer decided to go on vacation. But as you
Unfortunate
see,
timing.
everything's been turning out pretty good though.
Yeah, it seems you guys have definitely filled the gap rather decently, especially with, like I said, some very strong performances coming out of those last few matches there. So, something I asked the other team, there is a pretty decent chunk of change on the line here. I believe $300 going to the team in first and $100 going to the team in second. Now, is there any nerves on the line?
I can't speak for everybody, of course, but I personally have played for more money than that, and I mean, there's always nerves going into finals of any sort of league or tournament, no matter how much money is on the line, if any. But I'm feeling pretty good going into the finals. I think it'll be a good game.
Hey, well, I'm happy to hear that. Always looking for enthusiasm in those teams as they're heading into this matchup. So I guess with that being said, what preparations have you guys made? You've had a chance to take a good look at the opposing team here. So what do you do, or what do you plan to do to keep up the pace that you've been holding throughout this entire tournament thus far? And are there any things in specific you've done to maybe counter BGS heading into this?
Everything you got to be able to do is prep against the enemy team. We did a little bit of odd review. We know kind of what's going to be happening. Map bans are always, of course, based around how the other team's going to be playing on specific maps. And we've just been kind of talking over our strats, making sure everybody's got what they need to do, and we're just going to play to our best strengths.
Hey, well, that sounds good. All right, well, with that concludes our short interview here. I thank you guys for your time and wish you all the best of luck heading into tonight's matchup.
All right, thank you.
Thank you guys. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
All right, so with that concludes our interviews, folks. We will be getting into this matchup here in just a moment, so stay tuned for the Season 1 Finals of the WBP League. We'll be coming back at you in just a minute. Hello everybody, and thanks for tuning in to tonight's matchup. So for tonight we actually have the Season 1 Finals of the WBP League, and we have a best of 3 between BGS and Parallax Gaming. BGS will be starting off on attack here. This is Parallax Gaming. Now this is a map that really could go either way in terms of defense or offense. Typically it goes to the team that is performing at a more peak level. First ban coming out from Parallax Gaming, we are going to see Thatcher get taken off the board, as he is a pretty pivotal operator when it comes to those bar cocktail pushes, as well as those basement pushes, or first floor pushes rather, through kitchen. Second ban here, we see Capital getting taken off the board. Now, he isn't banned all that often, but when he is, it's not all that surprising, just due to the sheer amount of utility he can provide for the attacking team. Those firebolts proving to be pretty effective area denial, as well as those smokes possibly covering off any plants and or pushes for the attacking team. So no surprise to see him get taken out there. Mute being our third ban, second on defense. That will actually play in, as I do believe we've seen the Mute Mozzie setup come in from both these teams rather often. Maybe a target ban coming out there. It'll at least free up some of that drone economy for both teams. And now for the final ban, we see Mira. Now that is not surprising whatsoever, as she can just shape entire rounds all around those two-way mirrors. So nothing surprising there coming out of that final ban. So I imagine we'll be heading up to Bar Cocktail Lounge, as we are. We've seen Castle get quite a bit of use in this setup recently. You have those barricades within Piano. On the red stairs, slows down those attackers quite a bit, as they're going to have to allocate their self-destruction. If they do so properly, they'd look to do anything in a timely manner, but they are well equipped to take care of those. These smoke, or Mozzie switch off onto the smoke. So we will see Mute get taken off the board, and now Mozzie's taken off the board. No Mute Mozzie set up right now. Smoke is a very crucial operator for the dying moments of the round, though, as he just can do a lot in the way of denying the plants. Once again, great area denial. See them close off freezer wall there and then reinforce it. Make it a little bit easier for them to rotate, maybe even stop any of those attackers from taking care of charges from that skylight. Standard rotates beyond that, though, as we see them opening up a rotation in the bathroom in Whitehall.
10 seconds to go.
As I said, we did see them place some castle barricades within Piano, just to deny a few of those basic angles from anybody rappelling up on their way to the roof. We're actually going to see them place one on this guard door. We've seen that quite a bit recently, as that does allow for the players within Cigar to play a bit more comfortably, at least for a little while. They are prepping this one, though, making sure that they are ready for any quick rotates if need be. Alright, so yeah, majority of the attackers making their way up to the rooftops. Now, we've seen Psycho play this Piano position rather aggressively, and he has a tendency to win these fights. The flash is coming out. They're going to burn the ADS. Third flash comes through, but no peek from the attacking team. May be a wise decision, as Psycho is a formidable opponent, especially in those positions when he's feeling confident. You have to be weary of taking those gunfights. We just see them getting a few drones in here, trying to grab any intel on these players as they get their foothold into the map. Haven't done much in the way of grabbing any control on this third floor just yet, though we do see a few players like they are prepping to get ready for some pressure on the rappel west side here. Looking to clear out those ADSs, maybe help them push Psycho out of Piano. Looks like they are actually going to get Piano opened up, and that's going to be a pick from Psycho. That's 2 for the defense, make it 3. Psycho's going to grab 2 kills. As I said, he's a very formidable opponent in this position, especially when this confidence is up. They've been playing very well throughout this entire tournament. So, just like that, we see Parallax Gaming put themselves up 5-2 in the first round. Things seem to be opening up for the attacking team there as they had just got piano wall open. But right as they did so, the defending team fired back and found a few picks of their own to put themselves in a great position to take this first round. That's going to be Psycho grabbing his third kill as they continue to fall in piano. They're aware of the player within the bathroom. Good chance that they might just take a few moments here to talk things over, as this is probably just too tall a mountain to climb. Gridlock would have to take down 5 opponents, 3 of them at full health at this point. Not uncommon to see teams just take a few seconds, use it as a tactical timeout, if you will. So, as I said, that round really seemed to be going okay for the attacking team up until those 3 picks, and they happened in a blink of an eye.
10 seconds left.
So up until that point, everything was looking solid. They maybe did slow down or hesitate a bit too long on getting a foothold into the map just in general. And then even once they did so, they just weren't able to capitalize as the defense found 3 huge picks and just put them on the back foot for the rest of that round. So that first round is going to go to Parallax Gaming. They head down into Reading Room Fireplace Hall. We see teams kind of hop back and forth from deciding whether or not they'd like to head down to kitchen or reading first, but those 2 sites are definitely the favored ones to be taken up in the rotation. So we're not going to see too much different coming out from the attackers here. I do believe they have a sledge instead of the ash. We're going to see a rather similar setup from the defenders as well, though Mozzie did not switch off onto a smoke this time around. And they're putting a little bit of damage onto Mozzie, as I say, or as we speak of him. Alright, this is a relatively new site. Typically you do see a pretty aggressive roam on the top floor and a pretty heavy dedication or use of the utility up here as well. And as I say that, we see them get to work with plenty of reinforcements on that freezer and bathroom wall to reassure their position up here for as long as possible. Once the attackers grab control over this floor, they really are able to do a lot in the way of vertical destruction to apply pressure to any lurking defenders on site. So it's pretty important for them to hold on to this for as long as possible, grab any opening picks if possible onto the attacking team. Now they did a pretty good job getting set up and applying their utility. In the last round they just lost their gunfights once they found their way in. So this time around we're definitely going to want to see them keep up that use of utility and just hopefully come up on the winning side of those gunfights. As we say that, Cute Manatee is going to fall. That's Thermite off the board, and that is a very crucial pick for the defensive team to open things up here. They're actually going to be getting the plant down. Spiker is planning within dining room. I don't think they're aware of it. And that's going to be the bomb. We're going to have it planted. Simplest is able to find a pick on the dry off the rappel. Ransurf is going to add on to that. And they were able to catch the defense with their pants down on this plant. They were able to find the opening pick, but the attackers were already inside of sight. Now they have to work on the retake, and sitting at a 3v4 is going to be very difficult, and they lose one as I say that. Ransurf finds 3 on the round, Simplest finds 2, and that's going to be a very decisive win for the attackers on the reading room dining site. So we saw the Thermite fall early, thinking that might spell disaster, but right underneath my nose, Spiker was inside getting the plant down within diner. They had a few players positioned on the rotates. After getting the plant down, grabbed a few easy picks as they went for the retake and easily sealed that one up. Very nice job from BGS on the attack there. Alright, so they head back into reading room, as that was a bit of a fluke, or at least you have to believe that they didn't imagine that the plant would be getting down so quickly. And they will more than likely be ready to stop any basic tricks like that this time around. They kind of capitalized on the upstairs roam, I'd say. You will see teams stick to that roam for as long as possible and really dedicate a lot of resources to that, a lot of operator power and just utility in general. So, as in that case, when you see the site's clear, you might as well just hop in and take advantage of it. Set up a few crossfires, take that round. But with that being said, let's see a much more traditional round play out more than likely this time around. Say once again, get a lot of reinforcements dedicated up here to that freezer and bathroom wall. We'll more than likely see them stick to this top floor room. But it will be interesting to see what the attacking team does here. Say, clearly took advantage of that last time around, but as I say that, they're going to find another early opening pick. So last time we saw Humanity fall, this time we're going to see Delta fall, and that's going to be Legion grabbing that pick, or Silent rather, having the early pick for his team to put them in a pretty advantageous position early on. Alright. So we do see the Mozzie playing up top here, as well as Vina and Psycho on the Maestro and the Jaeger. Actually, I have just about their entire team playing up here. They're going to be need to be careful. The attacking team seized an empty site rather quickly last time. Seems as though they're just grabbing the intel on the players up top here, trying to assess the situation ahead of them. See, they're going to have the call on the Jaeger there, playing underneath Skylight. And they're taking control over Cigar now, looking to take a little bit of Piano. But they got to be aware there's a player near Pixel and or Bathroom. Alright, so Freezer Wall gets opened up now. It's going to give the attackers a lot of angles, or a lot of room to play with. They can now look into Cocktail and or White Hall. They're going to see the Mozzie playing inside a Bathroom. Hall's got to be coming out. They will have to aggress if they look to find any success here. Humanity is able to find a pick, put them at a 4v4, and that's going to be Vina falling. Maestro off the board now. It's a pretty big operator to take out for the ending of the round. All right, so we see them trying to rotate, but Rancer's going to land a nasty shot onto the Mozzie. As he falls, the attacker is looking at a 4v3 with a minute left. It's actually a pretty winnable situation. Drones come out from the IQ. They're going to look to grab a little bit more intel before they make this site execute. Dispatch some of those evil eyes and probably get to work on some vertical destruction here. As I said, that will play a pretty large factor in how this round goes. Alright, so the Psycho playing within Mining Hall. Now he might be able to get a pick onto the Thermite. He's going to do a little bit of damage, but he's going to be unable to find the kill. And with that, the Exothermic is off. It's making it all the harder for the defenders to move around site safely here. Oh, Sledge is going to open up the barricade, but little did he know there were two defenders lying behind it. Silence able to find 2 kills and make that 3 for the defense. Gridlock trades 1 back. Spiker looking to piece this together, but he's going to be unable to. They just sit and wait for the inevitable push. They're going to take an easy round victory there, and things fell apart for them right after that barricade got opened up. It seems they didn't have any intel on the position of the players within reading room. So once he opened that up, they were able to capitalize on 2 big picks, or 3 big picks rather. And from there, the round just goes the way of Parallax Gaming. So they head back to Cocktail Bar. As we have made our way through 3 rounds at this point. Rotation is fresh. They found some pretty swift success, so no surprise to see them heading back here.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Good luck coming out. Can be rather useful. Playing a sort of flank watch role, they will have to shoot out those canisters if they look to make their way by. Especially for a site like this where there's only 2 ways up. Placing any of those canisters on either stair can just be a major hassle for the defense to work around. But we see a rather similar setup coming out, or actually the exact same setup coming out from the defense this time around on this site.
10 seconds remaining. 5
We see the Mozzie often switching over to the smoke for this top floor.
Attackers are moving.
Making sure that they have plenty in the way of plant denial. He did a pretty good job holding on to Cigar last time as well, though. With Psycho playing on piano and finding the success that he did, I'd imagine that that can make things a bit easier for you. Alright. So BGS had a bit of a rough round their first time up on this top floor. But I do believe it just came down to them losing a few crucial gunfights. They're able to come out on top with those gunfights the way they have a few of these last rounds, and we could easily swing this swing in the favor of BGS. But as I say that, we're going to see a C4 come out from Silent, and he's going to get an easy kill onto Simplest. Very ballsy play coming out. Silent there is going to stand right underneath that skylight, grab a pick, but before I can even finish my sentence, Silence goes down, and that'll be the Kayad taken off the board. Sophia found her way up the stairs and caught Kayad unsuspecting from that angle. Nice play there from Sophia. Isolate that pick and go ahead and grab it.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Alright, so they have the intel on the Maestro. He has been playing within this cocktail area for a large part of this game. Even when they were in reading room, we've seen him in a very similar position. They're aware that there's a player on the rappel here, and they're actually going to land a very nice shot. So, proving that that UMP can be quite used. If you're just aiming for the heads, the gun is actually quite an amazing weapon, but has to be in the right hand. So we move forward. We're looking at a 4v3.
Attackers have recovered their
BGS is going to have to piece this one together as they don't have much map control whatsoever, but Sophia is sneaking her way up the stairs. That they are unaware of her position. Do send a few pre-fires her direction. I don't think that's due to any calls coming our way. Alright, so with that being said, Dry's going to be able to find the pick onto the Sophia, and that's going to be 2 on the round for him. Castle proving to be quite useful in terms of fragging power in this round. We're looking at a 4v2. This is mighty difficult for BGS at this point.
Tracks deployed.
Canisters do come out here. Looking to cut off any possible rotations from the defense. As I said, this is a pretty tall order even for the best players. We're going to see Ransomurf pick up a kill on the Dry though. Puts us at a 2v3 and things already look pretty doable. That's another one going down. This is a 2v2 essentially, but Spiker's going to fall. Ransomurf's trying to get the plan off. He's shrouded within the smoke, but more than likely the 2 players are going to be able to find him, and that round's going to go the way of Parallax Gaming. So, a nice effort there from the attackers coming out in the final seconds of that round, but nonetheless the defender's going to be able to easily put that one away and put themselves up as we look at a 3-1. Pretty strong performances coming out from Psycho and Dwy at this point. Dwy picking up 2 huge kills at that last round coming out from the ump, so definitely going to have to watch out as he has definitely got a hot hand at the moment. Now we head into kitchen service. Struggled a little bit to grab the victory on reading room, so not too unexpected to see them head down to the first floor here, but yeah, the attackers work around that Thatcher ban as we do see Maverick coming out, so seems that he will be the answer to their problems. IQ will more than likely spot that out through the reinforced wall, and he will get to hard to work with the blowtorch to make sure that they're able to dispatch those charges. Electro claws. And the reason we see Kayed and the Bandit here is there really is just so much in the way of reinforcements. The attackers have a lot of angles that they could potentially open up to put pressure on the site here. So we're going to see plenty of hard denial coming out from the defensive team to hopefully oppose that.
10 seconds left. 5 seconds to insertion. Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
So we will see Psycho playing all the way up top in Bar Cocktail Lounge. He will more than likely look to slow down that push, as typically teams will make a top-down clear on this map, as those late flanks can be devastating if not countered early on. Maverick gets started on the second floor here, coming in from pillars. Very interesting decision. I'd imagine to see him head over to the walls, maybe down in Bakery or Freezer. Seems as though they are committing all of their resources to clearing out the roam here at first. Ooh, and they're gonna have to be mighty careful, as they almost lost their Maverick. They have 2 players down by White Stair who are ready to contest this push. Bandit playing mighty aggressive here. Gonna wisely back off, as Simplest is able to find the pick on the Psycho. Now as the player on White Stairs, Silent's able to trade one back. He swings onto the player repelling in and just makes it away with a very, very low amount of health. We're looking at 4-4. He's gonna make it away with his life, but not before they move on down that White Stairs. Simplest takes 2 kills for this round and shuts down the Bandit, puts his team in an advantage at a 4v3 here. So with that, they have the first floor control that they need. They're going to be aware that they have cut off the roam, at least for the time being. They're more than likely going to push on into Bakery and or Freezer to start opening up some of these hard walls. We'll see Sledge get to work on some of these vertical angles. Top of mining, you can look down into Kitchen and Freezer. D4 comes out, but it's not going to land. They will be safe to play this vertically for just a little while longer. Here's a bug. Trying to catch the defenders off guard there. Now you can toss the nade onto the floor and open it up, and it'll, by the time that floor is opened up and the nade falls, it'll already be cooked, falling onto any unsuspecting defenders. Right. So they have opened up Freezer wall at this point. Don't think they even needed the Maverick to do so. There's a good chance they may have got that one to the floor. I'm not too entirely sure. See some few gunfights coming out vertically here. iDelta's able to pick up a frag onto Dry, but not before Vina frags back onto iDelta. We're going to see them push in through Freezer here, and they actually do have control. Simplest is able to find a frag, Spiker is able to find the second, and that's going to be 2 kills to seal up the round for BGS. Really nice job there, as they got in on the first floor. They isolated the roamers, I want to say, but I also don't want to give all the credit to the attackers on that. The defenders were playing mighty aggressive on that White Stair and within the laundry room, I do believe. And I think that just kind of cost them the roam there, though Bandit was able to frag onto one of them and almost grab the Sledge as he repelled in through White. He was immediately traded back out after he got down White Stairs, so that roam getting cleared out pretty early on and with little consequence. They were able to make their way down White Stair, open up Freezer, and from there make a site execute onto Freezer. So very well done from the attacking team there, taking map control, clearing out the roamers, and just getting to work with that utility. Yeah, so they probably got whatever charges were being held on that Freezer wall through the floor of dining. They did have IQ on the board. Possibly lifelines or grenades as well to dispatch those, as I do believe there is a little bit of room between the ceiling and the reinforcement there, as you do see Dwy opening that up. You can get some pretty cheeky angles looking onto White Stair if you position yourself properly. Ozzy grabbing a few drones there in the prep phase. Definitely going to prove useful for his team later on if he gets those set up in a decent position. Right. So I expect to see them work on a top-down clear once again, especially after finding the success that they had last round. Though I don't think the defenders will be playing this one as aggressive. They were dispatched rather early on that time. So more than likely they're going to make the attackers work for it here in our last round of this half. BGS is definitely looking to tie this one up, as we've seen some pretty decisive rounds come out the way of Parallax Gaming, looking to hold that momentum, put it at a 3-3 as they head into the second half of this map. But as I say that, Silent's going to find another early pick. He has been continuously able to do so. And this time he's going to do it with the Alibi. So that's going to be Sledge off the board, and Simplest played a rather big part in the last round victory they had. So it's definitely a big pick for Alibi there. Very impactful in many ways. Not only taking out the grenades, but also... Oof, looks like we have some type of glitch with the debris there. Unfortunately, it's probably opened up on his screen. On our screen, we still see that barricade upright. Unfortunate. You do hate to see this. We're seeing a pretty deep angle through the hatch, or through the floor looking up the hatch there. I don't think they are looking at hatch though, as they're going to find a pick onto Jaeger. They're going to have to be careful now, as the Kayad is holding a pretty cheeky angle, but it's not going to pay off just yet. But they will re-engage. And unfortunately, Humanity's going to find the pick on the Dry. He had so many chances and unfortunately able to capitalize on them. And that's going to put us at a 3v3. Things looking very doable for the attacking team now. Like they do look to readjust this attack. We see the Thermite head on down to Bakery. I imagine they're trying to get rid of the utility, stopping them from breaching this wall. Humanity will have to be careful though. They are playing alone in this Bakery area, pretty susceptible to any possible flanks at the moment. But we don't see any coming their way, and Ransurf is now here to back them up. So, with the kitchen wall opened up, Gib is going to have to play that spot in rather dire straits. Unfortunately, if he falls, that is going to be the control for the attacking team. Ransurf pushing up here, maybe unaware of the Mozzie's position, but they're going to grab a pick onto him. No, Mozzie's going to find the pick onto Ransurf. Thermite's going to fall next. And this is looking like it's going to go the way of the defenders, as iDelta's the last one standing for his team and is not going to be able to get the plant down. There are two defenders who lie in wait for such an opportunity. So this half going the way of Parallax Gaming. Very close though. There were multiple opportunities for BGS to take that round and possibly put us at a tie. Definitely anybody's game moving into the second half here. Be interesting to see if Parallax Gaming is able to hold the pace that they set for themselves on defense. Putting themselves up at a 4-2 is definitely gotta have your team feeling confident at this point. But as I said, BGS has had plenty of rounds where they could have easily taken the victory. So this truly is anybody's game at this moment. And if they are just able to capitalize on a few more of those gunfights, and I could definitely see them running away with those, or running away with this. So, we see the reading room fireplace pick here. Now, we saw Parallax Gaming struggle to get the victory here, as it did take them 2 tries on the first half to come out on top. Yeah, interesting to see what BGS has in store for us. Well, we will see a pretty heavy roam dedicated to the top floor, as I said once before. You will see teams default to this. They've opted to just reinforce the bathroom wall and only reinforce the back end of that freezer wall. And typically you'll see rotations get opened up into there, and they'll reinforce the wall that's just above Ransurf. But this situation, they have opted for a different setup. They're gonna have the castle barricade to kind of create a full barrier between them and the attackers, making them push forward through Piano and your Cigar to clear them out. We're gonna see them a little bit of success, or see Mozzie getting a little success grabbing drones there. He's been able to do so just about every round almost. Now that might seem like a little thing, but taking care of any bit of that drone economy coming out from the attacking team can be very, very crucial for the defenders later on. Just puts them in a position where the attackers are going to be face checking a lot more angles in the midway points of the round. All right, as I am speaking, we're going to see the attackers aggress heavily through this bar cocktail lounge. They're aware that there's pretty much a wall between them and the defenders sitting on the other side of cocktail here. So with that, they will just go ahead and walk right on in. So I like the setup, but without any contest, the attackers have just taken a good portion of top floor control. So we're going to see them open up the castle barricade, try to flush out the roamers sitting here. There's going to be two within cocktail. We do see Jaeger drop hatch here, which is probably wise. And that's going to leave Cute Manatee and Spiker, one at the top of White Stairs and one last one in cocktail. That will be Doc dropping wisely there as well. So just like that, the roamers have done their job because they're about 2 minutes in. And they've both rotated back down to site safely, and the attackers are just now left with time to open up some vertical destruction. With that being said, they are going to have to clear that top floor as well before they even feel safe to do so, but they've already done that. We see them get to work quickly. They dispatch the volcano and get some angles opened up here. Looking into reading room. Defenders making sure to play this carefully as they know the angles are going to get opened up, and it's going to make it all that much harder for the defenders to rotate around site. You see them stalling out a bit here. We're looking at a 5v5 with 20 seconds left. The attackers are going to have to make a move if they look to find any success here. That being said, we do see the IQ dropping. They do have the pillars wall opened up. It's going to give them a lot of angles to play with, and they're going to find a pick. Psycho is going to find one. There's Gib with a 2K, and this is immediately shifted into the way of the attackers. We're looking at a 3v1 in a post-plant situation. The Jaeger's up top. He's in a great place to do this with a lot of vertical angles to play with, but this is a very tall mountain to climb. I don't know if he will be able to do this, as he looks very unaware of any positions at this moment. He flicks around looking for any possible targets to snap onto, but he's not going to find any before getting dropped from reading room. That'll be a very solid attack going the way of Parallax Gaming onto that reading room site. So very well done there, though. It took them a little while to clear out the roam, and they didn't even find any opening picks on the roam. They were able to open up that pillar's wall in the final moments, and I'm not sure if maybe just the vertical angles up top. Having the defenders flustered just forced them into some bad rotations, and the attackers just got a flurry of kills in those final moments of the round there, able to get the plant down relatively easily, and that left Jaeger in a 1v3 post-plant situation. This is a situation you never like to find yourself in, even when you're equipped with that kit. So, after taking their first victory of the half on the reading room, they're going to head up to Bar Cocktail Lounge. And this is definitely a site you like to be in after taking a victory in somewhat of an off-site to start off the half. They look to carry that momentum on one of the traditionally stronger maps, or stronger site holds for this map. The volcano's getting set up within piano there. They'll look to for any efforts from the attackers pushing in. They will more than likely do so after taking control of Red Stair if they're able to do so. You can see them open up a good chunk of that cocktail bar. That will give them the option to flush out any default plants, maybe going down, or just stopping from any attackers from safely making their way into that cocktail area. You do see Spiker playing downstairs. He's going to be positioned within mining, hoping he's able to catch any attackers off guard as they make their way in. The Psycho playing on the south rappel of the piano here. He's going to start taking care of those volcanoes right away. They don't have any presence within the cigar lounge, I don't think. So as long as the attackers are watching their flank from the red stair, they may be a-okay to move in. They just have to deal with Simplest sitting on Pixel. And with that, Maverick's able to find his way into Piano here. Safely make his way back out, just taking a peek for now. Take care of a pest before he moves up. He does look to grab any intel, so he's really come down, making sure that they aren't face checking these angles prior to going, because when you're playing against teams at this level, that could be your head. Just one simple face check. And with that being said, they're going to go ahead and take out the pre-placed C4 there in Piano. Very nice job to clear that out before pushing on into Pianos. That could have spelled disaster for this attack. Now we're going to see the grenades come out. I was about to say, more than likely they do have an ADS over there, but flashes are going to come out to burn it. That nade, I believe, bounced off the ceiling, almost doing a little bit of damage to the attackers there. That being said, all the volcanoes within Piano have been dispatched at this point. The attackers are going to be able to safely move up and get this wall opened. See them actually opt to open up the cocktail lounge first. And then they're going to go ahead and get the freezer wall next. So this gives them a lot of avenues to play with. But the exothermic's actually going to get tricked, I believe. I'm actually not entirely sure how they were able to hit that. It must have been the evil eye. Let's see them kind of refocus on a cigar take as we see Psycho swing on and trying to grab a pick onto players within Freezer. Gibb's going to be able to find a pick. Cute Manatee and Simplest are also tacking on. Skip finds another through the wall, but not before Maestro is able to tag back for finding 2 kills. 3 kills for Cute Manatee. Now, the attackers are looking to piece this one together. They're able to shut down Cute Manatee, and that's a quad kill for Gib. He's actually going to be able to get the plant down here, but is the Mozzie in any position to stop him? The ping is coming out through the floor. He's going to be able to find the down, and that should be an easy victory for BGS. Probably not aware that they are down quite yet, but here in just a moment, be able to do so. See him tiptoe around. Hopefully he is checking for claymores. He's going to claim his kill and claim an easy victory for BGS on this round.
Defenders have disabled the bomb diffuser.
All right, so that
Defenders win.
is 2. Or I'm sorry, that is their first victory on this half, or this defensive half for them. They're definitely going to want to keep up the pace now. They are still sitting at a 5-3 and they have a lot of work to do if they look to tie this match up. But nonetheless, a good way to start out your half as you are able to finally put another round up on the board. They're going to head back down to kitchen service. So, we will see what happens this time around as the attackers were not able to find any success on the bar cocktail push. And even with that being said, their victory prior to that in the reading room was also very last second and maybe even a bit sloppy. Even though they did come out very decisively in terms of body count in those last few moments, any attack heading in at the last 20 seconds, typically due to a few missing pieces of intel or something along those lines. You will see attackers often try to execute upon those sites earlier on to be a little less predictable in the angles that they might be pushing. Evil Eye will get placed on the kitchen wall there. Very great position for any type of plant denial. He will be able stop the planter, maybe momentarily.
5 seconds to go.
If he finds him in the right position.
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
So we don't see anything coming out in the way of hard denial. Where we saw Bandit and Kayad coming out from Parallax Gaming, they're going to opt for 0 hard denial, so the attackers will be able to pretty much walk on in and take care of these walls as soon as they clear out Bakery and or Freezer. Interesting decision. And that'll leave Maverick to go work on Hatch even if he would feel so inclined. We'll have to be careful though, as they do have a bit of dedicated roam game up here. We see Castle newly equipped with the Super Shorty, making him a very versatile pick at this point for a lot of teams. He was often picked in competitive matches prior, now just making him all the more useful as he can open up a few rotations and just play to some soft destruction if need be. We do actually see a few players up top on that first floor roam. They are dedicated. The attackers are just going to go on into Bakery and get that wall opened up as they have spotted that there is nothing in the way of hard denial, and this will be an easy angle. Oh. We actually see the evil eye taking out one exothermic there, but he will not be able to do that again. So this time around we will successfully see them open up the bakery wall. This is going to open up a lot of avenues for them to play with here as we move forward into this matchup. Silence able to find a pick onto Humanity, and that's a pretty big pick as he's going to see him grab 3 as he catches 2 players dropping down the hatch, entirely unsuspecting. Gonna look for one more. I think he hears another player up top. He's looking for 4. He has just had such an impactful game, grabbing a lot of early picks on the defensive half for them, and that's the bomb going down, or the plant going down. Now they're just going to have to play this one smart, as body count is in their favor. If they play this one for trades, they have no way to lose. But with that being said, this is still very possible for the defenders here. But we see them fall as they fall down the hatch, and that's going to be a pick for Silent and Psycho to seal up this round for Parallax Gaming. They're tightly tucked away inside of Coat and find the unsuspecting Mozzie moving down red stair to seal that one away. That's going to put us on possibly match point if BGS isn't able to piece together a few defensive rounds to send us into overtime. They'll definitely be looking to do so as they move on over into Reading Room Fireplace. They just narrowly took the loss on the last time they visited here. They must feel as though they have a few adjustments that they could make to seal things up, at least put it in their favor before we see the end of this map. Now we're not going to see anything too different come out in the way of operator picks.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
But we do see the Maverick coming out once again. It seems to be something that they have definitely worked into their strat, because even though there has been no hard denial, they continue to bring it. So there just seems to be something in general that they are looking to get out of his utility. That it still requires them to bring it here. Once again, we're going to see them dedicate themselves to that top floor run pretty heavily, as we do see a few volcanoes getting set up in there. And actually, just about the same setup that we saw last time around with those players with that cocktail hatch opened up if they need to drop quickly down into that closet. So I imagine that Parallax Gaming is going to read into this. They're probably going to take control over that piano side of that top floor rather quickly. Because as I said, there's essentially a wall between the defenders and the attackers here. And we'll want to watch out for any of those pre-placed C4s that they did have set up in the round prior.
Bomb located by attackers.
Can be quite devastating if you find yourselves getting too comfortable on this push. Seems like they are taking things slow as they find themselves inside of Cigar. Looking to catch any of these roamers up top, maybe getting a bit over aggressive, but they're going to see the Goyo on top of White Stair. We're going to see Jaeger and Humanity play with that cocktail. Now, curious to see whether or not they're just going to drop right when things get opened up here. We are sitting at about minute 40. Whether or not they find it worth it to take any engagements after the attackers do finally make their way through all this utility. We do see Jaeger be the first one to drop. He will be able to play through a lot of these angles vertically. They are two-way streets, as many would like to say. So the attackers will have to be wary themselves. We're going to see Humanity drop down, and that should leave Goyo as the only one up On top, Silent's able to grab another pick. And he has been looking great as he has 11 frags on this game. Oh my goodness, we're going to see Castle try to swing out of reading room, but he's going to get picked off by Dwy. He was anticipating that peek. That's just going to put the attackers in a much more advantageous position here. So looking at a 5v3, 45 seconds to go. That is a mountain of time. So they will need to execute quickly. We do see Cubanity taking a pretty solid amount of damage, and he will actually end up falling, though he's able to revive himself and get away. It's just narrowly missing their opportunity to finish him off there. So we see iDelta find a pick. That's one for Jaeger, shutting down Vina. Thermite falls now, but they do have a little bit of control inside of reading room. We have 2 attackers in fight. They're gonna just need to get Planter within, and they are already doing so. He's planted behind the bookshelf. He's gonna shut down the C4. He's gonna shut down another coming through from the closet. Amazing double kill coming out from Psycho as he easily seals this one up for his team. Silent is actually gonna find that last pick onto iDelta as the Maverick. I believe that was either 2 or 3 on the round for him. Great half from these teams. Parallax Gaming playing absolutely out of their minds as we see Silent and Psycho putting up double-digit kills on this first map. Very, very well done. A lot of these rounds looking like they could go the way of BGS, but unfortunately they just weren't able to piece together the necessary kills to open up those site executes. So, or I'm sorry, or to seal up those defensive rounds. So that being said, that'll be the end of map 1. We will go ahead and get ready for our next map. We'll be back with you in just a moment, folks. All right, folks, thanks for hanging in there. We are all set to get underway on the second map here as Parallax Gaming was able to take the victory on map 1 of Cafe. They were able to do so pretty decisively, so BGS is definitely going to need to change the pace of this matchup if they look to take us to that third decider map. So we will look to see what they have in store for us. Consulate here, they will be starting off on attack. Parallax Gaming gets the first ban, and they will be taking Thatcher off the board once again. Now this isn't surprising after we saw the setup they were running with on attack on that last map. They were pretty confidently running the Thermite and Maverick. And even though the defenders were not bringing anything in the way of hard denial, they were using that hard breach utility pretty efficiently, and it was definitely aiding them in those site executions. You see a Thermite get banned here. Could be a target ban on the exact thing I just spoke about. We have been running Maverick and Thermite pretty much every round on the attacking side of things, so that may hinder Parallax Gaming. We will have to wait and see second half of this matchup. Now we're going to see Pulse get taken off the board. It can be quite useful on this map as there is plenty of soft destruction on a lot of these sites. Pretty much the entire floor on some of these sites is destructible, so Pulse being very useful. So although he's not a very common ban, definitely not surprised to see him get taken out here. And for the final ban, we see Mira once again. He sees very little play in the competitive scene these days. So that being said, we're going to move on to the second map, which is Consulate. Amounts of confusion coming out from the teams, but we have out. All right, folks, it looks like we are actually going to be having a rehost here, so give me just a minute, and we will be right back to get things underway on the second map. I apologize. Alright, we apologize for any hiccups in the stream, but we are back and ready to get things underway on map 2. As I had said before, Parallax Gaming did take map 1. Was their pick on Cafe. So we head on to BGS's map on Consulate here. They will be starting out on defense. We will have Parallax Gaming on attack. First site being Lobby Press Room. I believe we have seen BGS kind of take one of the offsites in the beginning of their half in the last map, as well as if I'm remembering correctly, they headed to Reading Room in their first site of rotation for the defensive half. Now they're going to press Lobby Room for their first site on Consulate. Now I don't think this is the site that most defending teams would opt for first. So we will see what they have in store for us here. So they have to be feeling rather confident in this setup.
Attackers have located a bomb.
I do like to see these kind of picks come out though, as this is the kind of change of pace that you will need to throw Parallax Gaming off their game, maybe just a tad, as they've been looking so on throughout this entire tournament and tonight's matchup for that matter. So BGS showing signs of life, and they're going to have to spike their vital signs if they look to have success on this map. But as I said, this is their map pick, so we should see a much more confident BGS running around here.
Attackers are heading out to defuse a bomb.
Alright, so looks like we will see a majority of the team playing up top per usual, as they do have most of that game's room wall opened up. Have the hatch opened up within CEO as well. For any quick rotates that need be, they'll have the games room hatch opened up as well. They'll be able to play off a lot of angles looking into that main entrance there, coming from games room. Not only just through the hatch, but through the floor as well. As I speak of that, we're going to see Mozzie utilizing some of those angles vertically. See, opens up cheeky little peek onto the Windows console. Alright, now we're going to see Parallax Gaming make their way in through the admin office here. This is going to give them a pretty hefty chunk of that top floor control that they have yet to contest any of the defenders playing on the west side of this floor. We do see iDelta possibly getting involved with some of them here through the soft wall looking into games. We'll also have Simplest playing up here in the bathroom. So the attackers are going to have to be aware of their positions if they look to find success here. As I say that, they do seem to have a lot of the attackers repositioning themselves here, maybe to getting some calls from their IGL, maybe looking for a mid-round adjustment here. We're going to see 2 repelled onto games room at this point. Not entirely sure what they have in store for us. We're going to see Psycho making his way in through Visa though. Not too sure if the defense has any knowledge of his position. He might be able to catch somebody off guard, making a rotate through Z and or through Spiral. So he'll more than likely sit tight and just try to catch anybody off guard here. But the defenders do seem to be sitting tight. As I say that, Mozzie's nearly gets picked off as he tries to rotate through the bathroom corridor there. Nearly loses his life for doing so. He's gonna relax in piano for the time remaining. Ooh, so he's going to get a narrow glimpse of the attacker there. That is going to be Vina finding a pick onto Ransmurf. And they're actually going to go ahead and start getting the plant down. I don't think the defenders are aware. They're going to be contesting a few angles on that main entrance, but they're not going to be able to stop the plant. As I say that, it's going to be Psycho finding a pick onto Jaeger, putting them in a very good position to carry on with this one. And he's going to be able to find 2 as he takes down Spiker. That's a double kill for him on the round. As I say this, we have Dwy finding a pick onto Cute Manatee. So we're looking at a 5v1, and this is pretty much sealed up for the attacking team here, as Simplest would have to pull off a miracle to win this one. And with 18 seconds left, it's definitely not looking like it's going to happen. So it's just going to take a few seconds here, hopefully talk things over with his team. So that's going to be a very convincing round coming out from Parallax Gaming to start things off here. We saw them with a pretty heavy admin take there, and they quickly adjusted over towards that main entrance, put a little pressure coming from Visa.
attackers win.
And with Psycho finding 2 picks, I believe one coming down, possibly looking for the trade after he found that opening pick. He's able to capitalize on that, and that just put the attackers in a great position as the only people who were around to contest the push from main entrance were unable to stop the plant from going down. So great push from the attacking team, a great mid-round adjustment too, to see that they have the ability to plant on that main entrance in doing so. So with that being said, we are going to see them head to a more typical site on Council Meeting Room. As I said, lobby press room is a little bit of an off-site. You won't often see defending teams go there first. You're more likely to see them head down towards garage or either council.
Protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
So it seems as though they were trying to catch Parallax Gaming off guard, but unfortunately they were unable to do so. Parallax Gaming quickly adjusted to what they saw, had a successful plant. Alright, so typical rotations and hatches getting opened up here. There's lots of room for vertical play, as I've stated before. And Parallax Gaming was pretty heavily dedicated to that admin push in the last round, and that might have been due to the thought of them possibly being up on that second floor. So we'll see if they repeat that this time around. Actually, going to see Mozzie playing down in the lobby area. It looks like the attackers are more prepped for a good bit of repel here. So they're going to look to open up some angles into sight from these windows. You are given the ability to apply plenty of pressure from these angles, as you can see them finding an angle on the yellow stair from Council. That wall being soft could spell disaster for that play from iDelta. He's going to have to quickly adjust his positioning. Find a way outside of yellow. He hears some smacking on the barbed wire. That's Simplest able to find a pick on his Psycho. Psycho, not the man you want to lose early on in the round. He's been very impactful during this matchup. But iDelta is going to take a bit of damage. Maestro taking a little as well, but he's still sitting above 75 health. I mean, 2 on repel of this Council window. Now, they're in the right position. We do see Simplest here, possibly looking to catch Maverick off guard. He's not going to be able to do so. Maverick's going to find the pick. Be one for Silent. He's been very effective in this matchup as well. So we sit at a 4v4. Don't have too much in the way of map control, but they have cleared out a bit of that first floor, so they are able to make their way up those stairs if need be. We see Ransmer find a pick on the Gid. Going to be one on the Council, I believe. Regardless, that's a gridlock off the board, so those track canisters will be of no use for them at this point. They have a player within bathroom. Smoke's going to be aware of it, but he's not going to be able to land the shot, as that's 2 for the Maverick as he makes his way in, or 3 rather, as he makes his way in through bathroom. Jawai gets engaged on the yellow stair here. Simplest, or I'm sorry, Biker was trying to find a pick from bottom of yellow, but he's unable to do so. The Maestro in a pretty decent position to catch that player from yellow off guard.
Bomb has been located.
He's going to creep up slowly, but Silent's able to find his 4th pick of this round. Oh, Maestro's going to find 1. Rounds come out towards yellow, but he's not going to be able to find his target. He's looking at a 1v2. Now this is very doable. 3 fires come out, but the attackers are just going to tuck themselves away. Try to withstand the onslaught from the Alda here, as he does have 81 rounds at his disposal, and he's going to get one, and he has 54 to spare. Plenty of room to work with here, and he's going to find a beautiful shot through the Maverick hole, and that's a triple kill for Humanity, and he's going to keep his team in this game. We look at a 1-1 on map 2. Very well done from the Maestro, as that clutch looked insurmountable, but he proves victorious on this one. So after an extremely nice performance coming out there from the Maestro to seal that one up for his team. We will probably, we will head to lobby. As I said that, I was trying to express that they may be moving down to that garage hold finally, but we're actually going to see them opt for the lobby press room once again. Now, as this is early in this map, I don't necessarily disagree with this site choice, but they are definitely going to have a lot more presence in that lobby area. The attackers were pretty much able to just walk right in, contest a gunfight or two, and able to get that plant down relatively easy, putting themselves in like a 4v2, I believe, post-plant situation.
To locate and defuse bombs. Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
But nonetheless, they're feeling confident. They're going to go back to this site. They most likely will not catch Parallax Gaming off guard with this one either. Now that they have seen it before, they were quick to read into the defense on Cafe. So I imagine if we see anything similar, they will quickly read into this play as well. Now, whether or not BGS has something in store for that, we'll find out here shortly.
Are heading out to
it was combined effort from iDelta and Simplest to take care of that top floor control in the last round. We'll see Smoke and IQ probably playing on the first floor, though we did see IQ playing up top here. Just a moment, probably getting a few cams set up. And Maestro setting up a few late rotations. Gonna be a pretty cheeky angle there, coming sitting on top of the toilet. He's able to look out over those stalls and find a few deep angles looking into the connector council office possibly. But with that, they are going to be aware of the attackers inside of admin. Psycho heading back downstairs. You're going to see Vina do the same. I'm sorry, Dwight do the same. Seems as though they just like to take control over this admin push as quickly as possible. Then they are quickly rotating back down into Visa after they establish that they have control over there. And we're going to see Psycho position himself within Visa once again, looking to catch any rotations, passing through Z or main lobby over to Spiral. As I said, the defenders are going to have to prove that they have a lot more presence on this first floor than they did last time, as the attackers were able to easily make their way in for a main entrance push. Gib opening up some angles vertically onto new players within main lobby, I imagine. Just looking to catch any players moving around the long desk Spiral area. Maestro creeping his way up, looking to catch the attackers off guard, and he's actually going to be able to do so. He might be able to find two. Little does he know, there's one down outside. He's taking out Vina. That's a hard breach off the board, but Gibbs able to fire back with a kill of his own. That's the Gridlock getting on the board and taking out Simplest. So they have Dex outside, or Silent rather, who is down. He can take care of both hard breachers at this point. Now, those aren't too crucial of ops to have. Silent does get back up. He fires back onto iDelta. Humanity and Psycho finding one of their own. We see a flurry of kills come out there. And Psycho's already found his way into the meeting lobby. Or into lobby, rather, and looking to do a little more damage as he's trying to get himself set up for a plant here. But Gib opens up the doors for a plant to go down. He's going to go ahead and start putting the diffuser down. Looking at a 1v1 while plant
Attackers are activating the bomb.
is going through here. Oh, and we're going to see a beautiful use of the lifeline come out as he fires up to that soft floor, and he's going to catch him rotating from connector. Very nicely done from the Zofia. Great game sense there as that seals this one up for Parallax Gaming. So we see BGS head down to the press lobby site twice now, and unfortunately they have come out, but they lost twice now. So they moved down to Garage Cafeteria as expected, looking to tie this up at a 2-2, not able to catch Parallax Gaming off guard with an offsite. I guess I shouldn't reference it as offsite all that much, as truly the offsite would be the Teller's archive site. Press lobby much more common than that. We see Legion getting switched off onto the mute.
Defenders, protect your
They opt to deny a little bit of intel rather than gain it by switching off that intel op over to mute. He's very great at denying the drone economy overall. And/or just playing a little bit of hard denial. And in a time or in a match like this where Thatcher is regularly banned, that can prove quite useful for the defense, even though it typically is a very simple piece of utility to get rid of.
left. 5 seconds left before insertion.
Alright.
Attackers must locate
Nothing
and
too
defuse the
abnormal
bomb.
here. We do see Jaeger roaming. He will more than likely be engaged somewhere on the
Bomb
first or
located
second
by
floor.
attackers.
We do see the attackers quickly getting this lobby open up, as they are going to look to open up some vertical angles through the
Attackers have recovered their
piano hallway and or just piano, so drones coming out right away. And they don't actually have any attacker or defenders in position to make them fight for this, so they're going to be able to walk right on in, and the closest player to contest them is going to be on Spiral for now. We do actually have Valkyrie playing at the top of Yellow Stair, and we have the Mozzie up top as well, so they will be providing some roam presence for the defense here. And with the attackers already pushing on in through bathroom, wow, they are really stacked up here. Looks like we got something interesting that is about to occur, folks. And they've already gone and dropped Hatch with the Maverick. It was a hot drop. I think all 4 of them went. Simplest able to find a pick. Psycho finding one of his own. Delta tagging on to that. The defenders coming out on top of this trade for this moment. But we see Humanity adding on to that as we're looking at a 4v1. He finds 2 as Mozzie stacks up the kills. Humanity finds his 3rd, and that'll just be a very quick win for the defenders here, as that might have been a bit of a throwaway round coming from the attackers, as we just narrowly miss the Maverick opening up the hatch with, I believe, 3 other teammates stacked on top of it. They went for a very, very quick sight rush. Unfortunately, not going to work out in their favor, and that's going to be an easy defensive win for BGS there. Now, we did see BGS find success with a kind of swift site take like that in map 1 on Cafe, but no luck here on Consulate as they look to drop the hatch in a very swift manner, but they will be shut down rather quickly. So with that, we head back to council meeting. This is the other site that they found success on. Get to be feeling good to be here once again. They actually have a chance to put themselves in the lead, I believe, possibly the first time in this matchup. We sit at a tie, 2v2 for now. Very little contest in the way of making their way into that first floor there. The roamers were just sitting up top waiting for any truly committed push, but little did they know that the attackers had already committed to the fullest extent, but nonetheless gonna go the way of BGS that round, as Ozzy was able to make his way down those stairs eventually and pick up 3 big kills to shut that one out.
5 seconds left.
Alright, so per usual, we see the hatches getting opened up here, allowing for any quick rotates if need be. We actually see a Capcan coming out here from Simplest, maybe looking to catch some of this aggression off guard, as Parallax Gaming has been quick to move on these attacks. So definitely a nice off choice coming out from BGS here, and possibly lay on some damage to any of these attackers as they quickly make their way in.
Bomb located by attackers.
Alright, so they do have the repel coming up from Council already. That does provide a lot of pressure. This makes it that much harder for the defenders to move around through a short desk and or connector. Even putting pressure onto connector. The repel game has been strong from Parallax Gaming, as they've been applying themselves to each and every one of these windowed angles. And when you do that simultaneously, it just puts so much pressure on these anchors that are trying to hold on to site. Alright, so we're going to see Valkyrie getting an engagement with the Sophia, but she's not going to be able to come out on top as Psycho finds his first pick of this round. Silent tacks on. He's going to make that 2 for Parallax Gaming. We're looking at a 5v3. They've got a minute 40 to work with here. Alright, and Capcan's going to go for the run out from meeting lobby, but they've read into it perfectly. Gibb is ready and waiting for that as he finds an easy kill onto the Capcan, puts his team up at 5-2. Oh, Maestro and Smoke put in a very rough position here as they have plenty of players on that rappel. And as I say that, they're going to find a pick on the Cubemanity. Dry is able to find a pick as the IQ, and Silent finds, I believe, his second on the round onto Ransurf, and that's actually going to be a flawless round for the attackers here. They very swiftly take control over this matchup at this point. All right, so 3-2. Now, no throwing away of the rounds this time. There was no hot drop to be had. They properly applied themselves to each one of these angles, isolated the frags, and got an easy round win there. So we see them head back up into council meeting room. Smoke switch off on a castle. Pretty well utilized on this side, especially with all these windows. It could at least make the attackers waste a little more time before they're able to apply that pressure. As I said, the rappel game has been strong, and on a map like this, you kind of had to have that rappel game when you're looking to take this top floor, as it can just poke so many holes in the defense. And after you expose those holes, that's when your defenders are going to start making mistakes, especially with the aid of a little bit of utility to do so. So we've seen the track canisters get well utilized in a few of these rounds as well. So they have brung the proper gadgets and they're getting the proper use out of them. We'll see if they're able to continue to do that. They look to put themselves up 4-2 on this half. And don't forget that this is potentially map point as well. So if they can keep up their momentum, they could go on to win the full prize pool of $300. $100 going to the second place team. It's not just money on the line here though, as we do have pride. We are looking at the Season 1 Finals of the WBPLeague. Now, we will see if Parallax Gaming keeps it up. They have been very quick to get inside the building, and they will do so once again, as they are already inside of admin with 30 seconds into the round.
Bomb located by attackers.
And to see Psycho quickly open up that Visa stair wall, as that opens up plenty of wiggle room into games. Nice line of sight for them to play with. Now they're going to go ahead and push on over to long desk. Must be aware that there's nobody here to contest them. Gonna open up an angle onto the top of that reinforcement, maybe go for some throwables. We do see Simplest try to get the C4, I believe, from bottom of Visa stairs. You can toss that onto that small connecting room between long desk and admin. But he's not gonna net any kills off that, but we do see the floor there as they just narrowly missed. Alright, so
attackers recovered the diffuser.
See the defenders trying to consolidate themselves on the west side of the map here. Oh, Sophia just narrowly missing, but she's gonna peek back and find her kill, and she's gonna find two. That's one on the castle. They have really opened this one up now, as they were looking at a 5v1. That's 3 on the round for Psycho, as he's having a heyday at this point. Dwy is gonna go ahead and seal this one out. We're looking at a flawless round once again, 2 in a row for Parallax Gaming, and that's gonna put them up 4-2 at the half. Well, that's one way to finish out the half, and they do so with an exclamation point. Things are looking very good for them. They move on to the defending side of things. Very well executed attacks coming out from Parallax Gaming. We will have to see what BGS has in store for us, as they're down 4-2 at this point, but this game is still very much winnable. This is their map pick. They could find a lot of success on this map. It's important to never give up in these situations, as a game of Siege can just turn around so quickly. We've all been there where you're up on match point and the other team just straight bulldozes their way back, puts things into overtime rather quickly. So they are down but not out at this point. We see Parallax Gaming ought to go into garage for their first hold, not looking to do anything out, or I'm sorry. I'm gonna see them head to Visa Archives. Now talk about an off-site. As a matter of fact, I was so taken back by this choice, as a matter of fact, that I almost didn't think it was happening. So we're looking at the Visa Archive site. Now without a pulse, this is going to be rather interesting to see how it plays out. They do have a little bit of C4 to play, or 2 C4s to play with though. So plenty of planting out here if they have the proper intel to do so, as the entire floor is destructible. So getting any plant off in that teller's area can be quite hard to do, especially when you have any defenders lying wait on that bottom floor with the C4. As I said though, they don't have much in the way of utility ops other than the Mozzie if he's able to grab up any of those drones. We're gonna see them go ahead and open up garage early here. Got to imagine that they've read into the Visa Archives hold here. They go ahead and get to work on this room. They're going to see him through the wall. They're going to grab a nice pick. That's Cute Manity opening things up on the Psycho. It's the attacking team in a good position to take this round, as they're up 5-4 with plenty of time to work with. Now they're going to see that the Flash is alone inside of security, but they're not going to be able to capitalize on that, as she is able to rotate back down security hall. But Flash is going to be pushing back. They're going to need to be careful, as I do believe I saw a player pushing that kitchen side, looking to possibly catching these attackers off guard as they try to deal with Clash. She can be quite the nuisance when you aren't expecting her, but Venus is going to take a lot of damage, sitting at under 25 health now. The Clash is going to need to be very careful. Alright, we see Spiker pushing up here, looking to catch any of these defenders off guard, but it looks like Mute might actually be the one finding them off guard, as he does play this angle rather aggressively with the SMG-11, and that gun is quite formidable when you're at a range this close. And that's exactly why. That's one pick for this Mute, but he's going to get taken down. The Clash will be taken down as well. That's going to be 2 picks, but Silent is able to find 1. So we do see BGS coming out on top of that trade as we sit at a 3v2. But Silent's going to find 2, and that's going to be one with the Super Shorty. That is going to be a violent kill. We do see IQ fall. That's Diffuser. That's 3 kills for Silent at this point. He looks to bring this one back. Delta's the last one standing in his way. Looking to play any angles vertically here, hoping to catch the Mozzie off guard. They're going to do a little bit of damage, but he's sitting at just below 75 health. Oh, but just like that, we're going to see Delta get dropped. And that will be Mozzie finishing it out. I believe he was just on the other side of that Visa stair. Yep, and he's going to grab a pick with the Super Shorty. Not even sure that he thought he downed her. Super Shorty not doing much damage at that range, but nonetheless doing enough damage to take the Zofia at that point. And with that, Parallax Gaming gains another point, putting them at 5v2. So, we're going to find success on their first site, heading down into the basement, and they head up to console now. They look to carry that momentum. As I said, they are only 2 rounds away from sealing this up entirely, potentially, and taking away that $300 grand prize and the title of the Season 1 WBP League champions. So, decent amount on the line for each team here, but BGS has got plenty to work with here. We've seen crazier things happen. There's still plenty of rounds for them to take back, that they can only lose 1 more freely. They can still definitely pull this back into their favor if they are to shift things around, make the necessary adjustments. That we saw them make their way into the basement rather quickly, as they read into the Archives Visa hold, I believe. But after they got in and found the pick, onto the one player within Cafe, things just kind of stalled out. They weren't able to get the Clash out of that security hallway, and with that, they had another player, or Parallax Gaming was able to place another play on that Cafe door, which caught the Nomad off guard, and things continued to cascade downwards for the attacking team from that point on. So a slightly similar story from Cafe, even as BGS is able to get in and even get a little use out of their utility, but just not coming out on top on some of these crucial gunfights. Unfortunately, not having enough info when taking some of these gunfights, as they've definitely been caught off guard by a few of the positions. Parallax Gaming. Right, so we see Psycho playing on top of that yellow stair. See if he's able to find a bit more success than Deltas. He did not have too much luck on the type of yellow stair. Often found themselves pushing on over to short desk rather quickly, but they did have a shield lying wait there for him. So, all right, so they are droning out the admin side as we see both teams leaning towards that control, as it is necessary to get that opened up rather early on. Provide you some angles in the games room and onto long desk. But with that wall being reinforced, they did have to spend some X Kairos to open up those angles. Looking for any possible intel that they can grab at this point, as they try to make their way forward towards that long desk games room area. We do see one of the volcanoes going off right now. It's a pretty strong area denial there. We actually have a player coming right up Visa, and I don't think they're aware of it. Gonna be IQ. Actually, she is engaged in a gunfight right now. Simple is able to find a pick, though. IQ's gonna fall from a nice shot coming from Dwy there.
Stun grenade out.
The Simple is playing on the council window here. He was able to find a pick on the rappel, put this at a 4v4, at least tie things up. Silent was the one to fall on the Mozzie, and he has been playing rather well. So definitely a big pick for the attacking team there. They just need one more to open things up and hopefully get a little bit of control on the site. And as I say that, Simplest finds his second kill, and Humanity's able to find their first kill of the game. Plant's going down in A. That's the exact kill that they needed, and Spiker's going to tack on. We're looking at a 4v1, and this is not looking good, but Dwight does manage to find a second pick with that up there. He is proved to be deadly with this weapon, dropping most anybody who steps in his path at this point, but still 1v3 with this kit, rather unlikely. Only got 20 seconds left to go here, and with the player on roof, things are looking more and more like they're going to go the way of the attackers, and with that, iDelta seals this one up. Sophie is able to find a kill onto Dwy. They just had to play that one smart in the post-plant situation that was going their way regardless. So with that being said, BGS is able to finally tack on another round here, and that really puts them in the game as we look at a 5v3. They still have another round before potential match point as well. They just need to piece together a few more attacking rounds. They could easily find themselves in overtime and take us to the deciding map. We'll see what they have in store for us as we head back to council meeting. They look to repeat the success that they were able to find on that last run. And we're going to see IQ switching off to the Montaigne. That might help them kind of force a foothold up those Visa stairs, as IQ did seem to find her way up those stairs without much contest. Now, you send the Montaigne up that stairway with the same low contest, and they might be able to follow that up with an easy plant. I imagine they will be taking from the admin side, and the shield will have some factor to play in that. Pretty common to see most teams reinforce the right side from this position of that games room wall. You will typically have a player tucked behind that reinforced wall and behind that table, or in between the table and the wall. It also leaves them a few angles to open or to fight back onto long desk, bending there. The castle barricade actually block a few, or a little bit of the angles coming from bathroom window as well. You see the castle barricades kind of zoning the attackers on those angles coming from rappel. All right. So we see them droning out through admin office here. Mozzie is able to take care of one of those drones. That'll give the defensive team a little bit of intel to work with later on. Very interesting setup here. As I said, a lot of these rappel angles getting closed off from these castle barricades. It's going to make it a lot easier for them to rotate around short desk and whatnot as well.
Stay close.
So, definitely forcing the attackers to kind of head the attack through long desk and or
Bomb located by attack.
admin office. Are going to need to be careful as these volcanoes are positioned in pretty good position, or pretty decent places, but we're going to see one get dispatched right there, and that's going to open up long desk for Montaigne as they look to get a few of those lifeline concussions sent out, or I'm sorry, impacts sent out onto the evil eye, but ADS is smartly
Attackers have located a bomb.
placed to stop any of that utility from making its way through. I'm gonna see Maestro go ahead and take care of those X-Kairos pellets. At least a few of them, but Montaigne will block off the rest and make sure that a bit of that wall will get opened up, and iDelta's gonna be able to capitalize on that. I believe that was the player in games room. Now they do have this cleared out and a player on balcony. So with that, they probably have the ability to go ahead and get a plant down. They're gonna have to be wary of Dex or Silent though, as he has had a hot hand during this matchup. Psycho has as well, and he's been able to find another frag onto Simple there, or his first of the round. C4 coming out, this might land, and Silent's able to find a pick. That'll be Humanity down. Diffuser stop. He's gonna find another pick onto the player on balcony. Looks for the third, but Montaigne's smartly going to put that shield back up. But we're already looking at a 4v2. Montaigne's alone on an island. Sophia's here to back him up finally, but maybe too little too late. But a team kill coming out from Vina onto Psycho as they stack up on top of the volcano, and that's going to cost them. Out. Oh, just narrowly missing the leg of the defender inside games.
Seconds remaining. Attackers drop.
All right, and unfortunately, it's just going to be too little too late as Vina and Dwyer are able to find the final two frags to seal this one away for Parallax Gaming. Nice shot from finding the player on long desk. Now we are looking at match points. BGS has no more room for mistakes. If they want to put themselves in a position to take this to a third map, they're going to have to win every round from here on out, as we are sitting at match point now, potentially for Parallax Gaming. Parallax Gaming looking rather dominant throughout this entire matchup tonight. BGS showing a few signs of life, but not able to piece anything together consecutively, and it's showing, unfortunately, as Parallax Gaming is starting to run away with this one. See Echo come out.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
He can be quite effective on this basement site. Plenty of places to keep those yokai drones hidden. That'll provide plenty of intel for Parallax Gaming as well. Okay, so they're going to continue with the shield pick from Rancer. That did help them in a... So when they were able to make their way into Game Zoom, everything was going fine. They were able to grab a few picks that opened up the control. As from there, they only had to worry about Silent and a few angles from bathroom, looking into Gaines room to get the plant down. But unfortunately, Silent was able to find a very crucial C4. Montaigne was unable to keep his teammate covered from there. The Mozzie pretty much just took control by heading on towards balcony, taking the gunfight and winning, which put his team in a 4v2 position to take that round. All right, so they get aggressive. Simplest is going to go ahead and drop hatch, but he will be immediately fragged out because Montaigne's going to be here with Psycho. He's going to have to be careful. He's actually going to grab the pick on the Psycho. Jaeger goes down. This isn't necessarily not the worst way to start, as we're looking at a 3v3 as Humanity is able to find one. Silent finding one of his own. He's going to be looking to find some plays vertically on into Visa. He will have an angle down to that hatch. Patient. All right, we see Sophia drop. She's going to take a little bit of damage from the player inside a cafe, but they know they've got one cornered inside a closet now, and with any luck, they're going to be able to isolate this pick, and there it is. So that's iDelta finding a nice grab. Onto the castle. Zvina running around looking for any possible angles to get a play on here. He knows the imminent doom that is Montaigne is making his way towards site. He's going to rotate all the way back up. They do have diffuser in a decent position here, so they don't have to get too aggressive. They just have to wait for the attackers to come grab the bomb. Attackers are going to do so with ease. Actually, I spoke too soon. Silent's going to get the kill there as he just nearly found the pick through the bars or through the railing. Montaigne nearly slipped away, but not this time. We're looking at a 2v2. I'm still in a pretty good position for the defenders to win this out. We do see the Nomad able to grab it here. She's going to rotate on into A. And the defenders don't have anybody in position to stop this just yet. But actually, we see the Yokais. Echo did have it properly placed. He's able to stop this plant from at least one effort. Hops on the second Yokai. It's going to go up and more than likely be successful, but those are both drones down. Now he finds himself in admin with quite a lot of distance to cover. More than likely get the plant down this time. They have 30 seconds left. Plenty of time to work with. Need to watch these angles. Make sure that they are not being spotted from above. We do have the Echo making his way down security hallway. Don't think the attackers are aware of it, but it doesn't matter because there's a Claymore there. He's going to find the Echo. Now we're looking at a 1v2. BGS looking very good to pull this one through. All right, and as I say that, we find Nomad getting a pick onto the player up the hatch. All right, so BGS refusing to go down just yet, putting themselves at a 4-6. We see a huge performance coming out from Cute Manatee, Silent, Psycho, as well as these players all putting double-digit numbers up, and we are not even at the end of this matchup. Silent with 15 kills at this point. Playing absolutely out of his mind as he performed pretty well in Cafe. He continues to do so here. We're going down to Garage. Once again, as the attackers are able to find success on that last try. A very similar lineup here coming out from both teams. So we do see the Ash possibly 6th picking off here. The extreme mix-up there, the Ash to Ash action. So, keeping things fresh, we move on into this Garage push. A similar setup from the team there. Now, I like the idea that they were pulling Echo off site. They did have control over Diffuser at that point, but once the attackers grabbed Diffuser, the Echo had to get on the Yokai drones in order to stop it. And even with denying it a few times, there was just a lot of ground to cover for the Echo.
10 seconds to insertion.
And that left the Mozzie pretty much alone to take a 2v2 in a post-plant situation. Echo running into a Claymore even after he did make it down. So, very nice effort from Parallax Gaming there. It's unfortunate the attackers were able to grab the bomb and dispatch those Yokai drones rather quickly, which left them with plenty of time to get the plant down with very little contest on site. Alright, so we see a pretty strong setup here on the first floor coming out from the defense. They're probably look to have Mozzie hold this for as long as possible. We'll be playing rather aggressively on the top of Yellow Stair, and he's going to turn away. We had a bad time, but they have not spotted him here just yet. So he will make it down Yellow A-OK. You notice they have a few playing at the bottom. The Yellow Stair entrance here. We're gonna see Psycho playing bottom of Visa here in Archives. Open up a few angles vertically, looking to possibly catch anybody off guard. Maybe trying to get that drone even. It seems as though the attacking team has opted for a top clear this time around. Looking to clear out any of those roamers, denying any possible late flanks in this round, as they have to take this one away. As well. May remind you, we still sit at potential match point for Parallax Gaming at this point. They are definitely looking to shut this one out before overtime. Silent is only going to add to that favor by tagging on with a kill, taking out Simplest. Ash now falls. So, see the Lifeline dispatch a few of these barricades, opening their entry point into the meeting lobby, but Silent's actually going to find another kill. That's going to be 2 on the round for him, and he looks to tack on as he starts peeking towards meeting or lobby, and there's a few players there. If he plays this smart, he may be able to add to his already ridiculous tally. 17 kills, but not just yet, as he will get pinched, as that was very nicely done from BGS. He was unsure where to look as the attackers found themselves closing in on all sides. iDelta finding another pick to put this in a 3v3. Humanity finding one as well. All of a sudden, we're looking at a 3v2. They're going to go ahead and drop down. Or actually, I'm sorry, they're going to go ahead and drop off that lobby hatch. Up to push down Spiral, but too bad Dry's already looking there. He's waiting for this. They're all gonna drop down the garage hatch, and unfortunately this one is looking like it's gonna go the way of the defenders. And it proves to be too little too late, coming out from BGS, and that is going to be a solid 2-0 victory going the way of Parallax Gaming, as they very convincingly win out this final in a 2-0 fashion. So BGS definitely pulling together a few rounds there, but it just was not enough, as Parallax Gaming just found themselves in control of too many of these rounds early on, grabbing the early picks that were necessary to keep things rolling. Now, we even saw some pretty huge performances coming out from a few of these players. 17 kills from Silent. That's definitely going to help shape the way these rounds are rolling. So very, very good game there coming out from Parallax Gaming. As I said, very decisive win, though we did see a little bit of fight back from BGS there on Consulate, which was their map pick. So as expected, Parallax Gaming was just able to read into those defenses, or I'm sorry, read into those attacks rather early on and grab the picks that were necessary to put themselves in a good position to seal things out there. So give me just a moment, folks, and we will actually have a post-game interview coming here with the winners. So just a moment, and we'll be right back with you. All right, folks, thanks for hanging around. We've got the winning team here, Parallax Gaming. I'm going to go ahead and hop into a short interview talking to the players here just about some of the things that played into the victory at hand. So I've got to ask, guys, at what point on the attacking side of the first map, Cafe, it seemed like you grabbed a read on that top floor hold rather early on when they were playing inside of reading room. You guys were essentially, after you read into those defensive strats, it seemed like you guys were able to get a foothold into the map rather quickly. You even kind of followed that on the consulate map. So, I mean, at what point did you guys have the confidence to just read into those defenses and just take the necessary control over the map to get the entry frag started?
Well, we've seen those strats already before. Like on Cafe, we call the reading strat that they do SSG strat. It's just kind of our, like, we tend to go that against that a decent amount in scrims. So we basically just have already practiced against it, so it's just almost natural at that point. And then, like, a piece of advice to the other team as well is on consulate, if you give up meeting on a downstairs lobby hold, it's very easy to just go and plant if you have a guy on death balk. So you basically have control. They can't hold the hatches or vertical holes, and that's when you just rush for front door, set up angles and just start planting. That's kind of it.
Yeah, I even saw you guys make a pretty quick adjustment. I believe it was earlier on in consulate, you were pushing through admin on a press lobby site.
Yeah.
And I saw pretty much the entire team adjust over towards that main entrance. You pretty much just walked it on in, landed on main entrance with Psycho sitting in Visa, grabbing some easy picks on the rotate. So
yeah, we had seen some people, or we had seen no holes or anything inside a meeting for them to counter us. So we just immediately thought to ourselves, we'll just push lobby, go for the plant. We'll put one in Visa, just hold flank. And it worked out pretty well.
Hey, well, you guys definitely not looking like you had a substitute in for pretty much any of this tournament. So great job to your fill-in.
Yeah, Gibbles was done amazing, as we call him. But yeah, he's been really great.
Super
this
sub
entire
Gib.
time.
Yeah, Gib had played a pretty tremendous part in a few of those rounds, getting some pretty big double kills.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, just great job to you guys tonight. Very convincing win, sitting at 2-0. So continue on with the great work. Any plans with the prize money, or just putting it back into the team, maybe splitting it amongst the members, just having a nice night?
Yeah, we're just gonna be saving up pretty much. That's it for now.
Hey, well, thank you for joining me, guys. Brilliant performance tonight, and good luck on all of your performances to come.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
All right, now with that being said, folks, that is the conclusion of our Season 1 Finals for the WBP League. We see Parallax Gaming take it in pretty convincing fashion as they took that one with a 2-0. They are the victors of our $300 grand prize. $100 going to BGS though, so nothing too shabby, nothing to be too down about, as they performed quite well. Thank you for tuning in, everybody, and stay tuned, as there will be plenty of more action to come in the future from WBP League. Have a wonderful night, and thank you once again.